We're joined by Maryam, Chief Presenter at BBC News and the Chair of the CCW Europe Summit this year. Maryam, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for stopping by. Maryam, as I mentioned, you've been chairing the summit this year. What have been your key takeaways?
Gosh, there's so much that I've learnt and discovered at this summit. I guess the main thing is that I've realised that customer service and digital experience are so much more than what I thought they were before I arrived here. I thought it was keep the customer happy, move quickly on, but no, there's so much more thought and depth to it. And the people who work within this industry, I think, are amongst the cleverest, most enthusiastic and energized that I've met in all of my career. Like just walking the floor and talking to everyone at these stands and all these companies, these CX firms, these tech firms about where they see the industry heading makes me really excited about the future. I've learned that technology and innovation and collaboration are key. And when I say collaboration, I mean, I've sat in masterclasses where, two different companies or a company and a BPO describe how they work together. And it makes you realize that collaboration is not just a word. It really is a state of mind. And it's something that moves the dial forward so much more quickly. So I think my key takeaways from this conference are that the world of customer service and experience is so much more than what you expect it to be, and the future really is looking bright.
Great. And from your perspective as event host, what have been some of the core themes or the core messages to have emerged?
It's a really good question. I think the main theme for this year is AI. Just talking to all of the different companies down there who have stands in the central lobby, they are all pushing forward with the notion of AI, the future of AI. But I think the tone of this conference is different to what I've heard before. Before I've heard lofty promises and big ideas. This, I think, is a conference of realism, of the understanding that AI can be used, but we have to also take it a little bit more slowly and a bit more carefully. I think that it's exciting. I think that, just talking to one company, for example, Crisp, who are using AI to change people's accent from, whatever accent they have to a more understandable, comprehensible accent for the customer service department. Just talking through with them how excited agents feel about that. Just sitting there watching Google Assist being demonstrated to all of the different, delegates here. Watching how AI has developed and how I think it's going to change the future is the key theme of this year. And I hazard a guess it'll be the theme of next year as well.
Yes, it may well be. And final question for you then, Maryam. If you could pick one standout moment or quote from the sessions you've been a part of, what might that be and why?
Well, there's more than one, I have to say. I've interviewed some really interesting people, some amazing people. Let's take you back to Katie Orme, who is a social worker who works for Octopus Energy. And just the way in which she explained to me that the reason why Octopus employ a social worker has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with anything that benefits them. It literally is because it's, and I quote, the right thing to do. That blew me away. I think it blew the audience away too. Earlier on in the day, we heard Maria from Telecom Italia talking about chatbots. And there are a lot of companies here that produce chatbots. And she talked about chatbots not replacing humans, but connecting the dots. And I really love that quote. I think that really stayed with me because the fear is, isn't it, that, we replace the human touch, we replace humanity in this business. But she was talking about, rather than replacing humans, it's something that connects people together. And finally, Dina Awad, who I spoke to from Media Market. I interviewed her in a panel discussion about what unites teams. And she told me a quote from her father, which I really, really loved. He told her that when you're working with a team, if you're 2 steps ahead, you'll lose those who are behind you. And I think that told me all I need to know about why uniting teams and not working in silos within the industry is so important. And finally, if you let me, Alan French, the CEO of Thomas Cook, he was my very first fireside chat. He was so impressive. This guy took a 176-year-old company on the verge of collapse and saved it. And took it, not only saved it, but took it forward into the digital age. And I asked him for one piece of advice that he'd give to any, company out there in crisis. And he said, have a plan and stick to it. It's simple advice, isn't it? But I think it's something that people in that room really took away with them.
Great insights and takeaways. Maryam, thank you so much.
No problem.